It worked. Good job. All right, let's start. We'll wait for other people just hop on. So one of the things I realized is that I'm giving you guys too much meat and not enough milk, especially with Eli and Ace being on the phone or on the call and in the training. Some of the stuff that I do is going to be a little bit more in depth, and you'd have to have a higher sales EQ. And I don't want you guys getting flustered and upset thinking about all of the nuances and how to read people and all the other things that you're going to have embedded commands and all these other things that maybe would be left for a little bit more experienced guys. So I'm going to go back to the basics and to the real simple stuff. So Kevin texted me yesterday and he's like, "Hey, bro, I just set 2 appointments. I watched one of your videos on Instagram. Nadia recorded it a couple weeks ago when we knocked in a little neighborhood out here, and I think." For us, it's great. It's an incredible skill being able to read people, be able to speak and communicate to them very effectively with how they're comfortable communicating with. But I think for you guys, it's like we need the milk before we get to the meat. And if I give you the meat, you're going to be flustered, upset, and then also trying to be making sure that you're hitting all these boxes and these metrics. So I'm just going to go back to the very simplistic view and exactly how you can easily set appointments and transition through the close. So you guys good with that?
Yeah, I think that's
Let's
good.
do it.
Yeah.
Okay. You don't have to be able to read everybody. You don't have to use effective linguistics. This is the next level for the skills. But when you're brand new or you're relatively new, it's just good to be able to have a foundation before we launch into that. So I'm going to give you a couple steps, the steps to setting a good quality appointment. You ready? So if you don't have a pen and paper, you should grab a pen and paper. You should get something handy and ready to go. So the first thing is the mindset. So we think that we're going out there when we're setting appointments to sell and close a deal. That's not what we're doing. We're getting them interested enough to be able to set the consultation so that we could go back and a closer, or you yourself, even if you're a closer, could go back and close them. We don't want to give them too much information. We're going to loop this down into the third step, but what we want to do is we're not selling the solar, we're selling the appointment. The goal is curiosity, not convincing. We're not trying to convince people. We're trying to get them curious. If you can get someone engaged, if you can engage someone's curiosity, these people have a tendency to want to sit with you because they're wondering exactly what this is going to look like. So we want to give them enough information to get them real curious about, okay, well, what does this look like for me? What is this going to entail? I wonder what, we don't want to go into the details of things. A lot of times, because I'm going to close, I give information overload at the door. We don't want to be doing that, especially if you're new. And chances are, if you're new, you don't know all the nuances and the details and stuff for a solar deal, anyways. So you want to just keep it very simple. You want to engage their curiosity, and you want to set the hook, and then you want to be able to move over. Your tone matters every single time at the door. I was just working with Eli and this week, and I was like, when you talk to somebody at the door, um, a large majority of people, especially when this is like your first thing you're doing, we think that we have to be somebody different. We think that we have to like fake some persona or personality that's like who we are. So we talk to people a lot differently than we would talk to people if we're just having a conversation with people. Your tone matters. So your tone is always going to matter every single time. Calm, confident, neighborly, friendly. Um, you have to be able to just be able to have a conversation, just like I'm having with you. The difference with me, whether I'm in a home or I'm at the kitchen table, I'm at the door. If I'm having a conversation with somebody, it's universal, and so I'm in alignment with myself. We've all talked to people where we thought we had to fake it and we were all out of alignment. And when you're out of alignment, people pick that up very easily. We're not comfortable, they're not comfortable. And by the way, your job isn't to make every single door, every single person like you. Would it be nice? Absolutely. Is that going to happen? Probably not. Nobody has that personality that's going to be liked by everybody. That's not our job. Our job is to have conversations with customers about helping them, and you've got to really be able to transition into having just a conversation with somebody. So number two, the four-step door formula, right? So number one is pattern interrupt. So when you're at the door, if I come to your door and I'm like, hey, are you the homeowner? Okay, hey, I'm just going to be real quick. Dude, what would you think? Just put yourself in the other perspective, put yourself from the customer's shoes. If I come to see you, if someone comes to the door like, hey, are you the homeowner? What are you going to say? What are you immediately going to think? Dude, you know this is a salesperson. Listen, we want to kind of go in a way that we're consultants and we're trying to help people out. We're not selling anything. I always consider myself an educator, not a seller. I'm persuasive and I have tactics and I have skills, but I'm just educating people. And so the way that you have to frame this inside your own brain is that we're just having conversations with people. We're literally knocking on doors and having conversations. And the worst way to do this is like, hey, are you the homeowner? Okay, I'll be real quick. Hey, are you the home? Like, I always use rep card and I call them by their name. This is the biggest pattern interrupt you'll get. Imagine someone coming to your house and be like, Eli, what's up? How are you? Good. Awesome. Like it that breaks all your preoccupation. First of all, you're probably thinking, how does this guy know my name? And what does he want? So, like, you're going to be thinking about these other things. I broke your preoccupation, and immediately you're into a state of confusion. You're trying to figure out what this is all about. And this is when we can speak directly to the unconscious because your brain's actively trying to figure out who this is, what are they doing. So the worst part about it is this, if they know you're a salesperson, immediately we have a tendency to put shields up anytime we feel like there's a salesperson trying to sell us stuff. We feel like they're going to take our money and we're not going to get the value in exchange. Everybody feels like that. Every single person on the planet feels like that. So the best way that we can do this is what I always do is I'm going to call them by their first name. And by the way, if I get the name wrong, I'm going to look on my app. I'll pull my phone out of my pocket and I'm going to be immediately talking to these people. I'm like, okay, is this 331 this address? They're like, yes. Okay. Oh, sorry, I got the wrong name. I'll even show them the rep card. I got the wrong name. Hey, what I'm doing right now, and then I'll launch right into what I'm doing. So even if you mess up, if it's like a male name and a female answers, and they have the last name on there, call them by the last name. You might get it right, you might get it wrong, but even if you get it wrong, you can easily recover by asking them if that's their address. That is obviously their address, and still it's a confusion thing that they're still trying to figure out. Well, what do you want? What is this guy? They're not thinking that you're some sort of sales guy right yet, right? So the thing is that um, we are salespeople, but we don't want to be perceived as a salespeople. People have a stigma on what salespeople are. What are salespeople? Usually we think of somebody that's trying to take our money, someone's trying to pull the wool over our eyes. People have these preconceived misconceptions about salespeople and what that entails. So what we want to do is we want to call them by their name. So if you do this, this is immediately going to engage their curiosity and it's going to engage some sort of confusion because they're asking themselves, who is this person? How do they know my name? What do they want? Right? These are the things that they want. So immediately after the curiosity hook, what do we want to do? We want to immediately launch into, hey, what I always do is like, hey, I do about three things.
Hey Luke, sorry to break up, brother. What if the name is not on rep card?
So if you just have a blank name,
Yeah, if there's no name.
immediately just engage. Hey, how are you? You're the king of the castle. You're the queen of the castle here. Yeah, perfect. Okay, just launch into it. Like are you the homeowner is just going to be like, you understand we're in the Phoenix market. Phoenix market's relatively a challenging market. This is why we're so good, especially if you plop us down anywhere else, we're relatively good in comparison to anywhere else. But asking them something that not every other sales guy is going to ask them. What is every other sales guy coming to the door asking them? Hey, are you the homeowner? Great. And then immediately, like, is this solar? Are you the homeowner? Is this solar? Like, dude, you're gonna get that probably like 8 times out of 10. As soon as you ask them, yeah, are you the homeowner? They'll be like, yes, what do you want? Or they'll be like, yeah, yes, is this solar? So immediately shields up, they're already on the defense, and they feel like it's a generalization. They feel like if they've met with someone before, they're gonna compare you to the last guy that was at their house, and they're gonna generalize this, and they're gonna assume that you're just the same person that was offering them something before, which they said no to. So and the chances of it not the name not being on there, that's not very often, anyways. I mean, every once in a while you might see a name not on there. If you're in a brand new neighborhood, there's no names on there. So I was just in a brand new neighborhood a couple weeks ago, and like none of the names, they didn't have the pins on the houses. So immediately I'm like, hey, and I just launch into it. I assume that they were all homeowners. So immediately I ask them questions. Now, here's the other thing. When you ask questions from the very beginning, and you won't see me. Sometimes I'll do this, but a lot of times I won't. Hey, my name's Luke. I'm with Our World Energy. I'm not telling them that. They're not going to remember my name, and they're not going to remember the company's name. If you're doing that, you're wasting precious moments to not get them engaged. What do you have? 30 seconds to make an impact, make a mark on these people to them to decide whether or not they're going to talk to you or not. So you got 30 seconds. So if you blow through 7 seconds saying, "Hey, my name's Luke. I'm with Our World Energy. Did you guys see the trucks?" Like I immediately burned through what three to 5 seconds telling them who I was, who the company was, which these people will never remember. Nobody's going to remember that. You understand? You want to do the pattern interrupt. People have the certain ways and patterns, especially if it's a really saturated area. They have ways of dealing with people. They don't want to deal with door-to-door salespeople. The majority of people, they don't, they feel like you're going to waste their time. They're going to take your precious resource, like it's time. So they're just trying to get rid of you. So anything that you can do to be wild or crazy or different, like is going to make you stand out above the pack. So, dude, sometimes I just do weird shit. I just do crazy stuff and I interrupt patterns every single time. So if you could just interrupt patterns, like here's the idea. If you could just interrupt their normal patterns of behavior when you knock on their door, you're going to get much further. Even if you don't know what the heck you're doing, you will get much further than if you're just going robotically asking them their name, all of these other things. Does that make sense to you guys? And you guys know this. You guys already know this because some of you guys probably are a little bit more robotic. Hey, are you the homeowner? You've done this. And by the way, if you have been doing this, and you have been doing this for a while, this is a habit and it's ingrained in you. And if you're not thinking and if you're not intentional, you'll revert back into doing the same thing that you did before, which is like, hey, are you the homeowner here? And then launching into those things. So I want you to be very conscious and intentional about the pattern interrupt. In the first 30 seconds, someone decides whether or not they're going to listen to you. So there's some specific things that I do. One is I'm going to call them by name. Number two, I have cool, confident, relaxed, friendly tone. I'm talking to them just like I'm talking to you. I'm relaying information. I'm having a conversation. I'm not changing like, hi, how are you guys? Oh, are you Rick? Oh, awesome, Rick. Hey, my name's Luke. I'm with Our World Energy. Hey, did you guys see the trucks or anything like that? Like, there's a completely different way that you talk when you're feeling like you have to fake it. Like, listen, I don't care your personality type, man. If you could just let your personality come through on the doors and be authentic and living congruency, then you're going to have a lot more success than anybody else out there. The problem is that we feel we have to be somebody that we're not. And then when we're trying to be somebody that we're not, people see through that stuff and we see through that stuff. And we're telling our unconscious that we're really not comfortable and confident with ourselves. So the pattern interrupt, very important. Hey, Ivan, how you doing? Good. Hey, we've been trying to, there's a couple things I'm going to say. So I'm going to give you some hooks. Hey, we've been trying to reach you. I'm so glad that we finally caught you. Uh, I say this. Now, this is also going to get them in a confused state. They'd be like, what has he been trying to reach me about? Is this a bill collector? Is this a process server? Is this the IRS? Whatever they're going to be thinking. They're thinking about all these things. They're process of elimination. They're trying to generalize this with past experience and figure out who I am if I do this very effectively, right? What do you mean you've been trying to reach me? Like, I've been home for the last 2 weeks. Like, whatever that is, whatever that looks like, they're going to be thinking about these things. So, hey, we've been trying to reach you for a couple of weeks. Hey, we had a couple installs. Do you guys know the neighbor? Here's the other thing. If you get into a brand new neighborhood, I'm going to give you a skill set that's very easy to accumulate stories and anecdotes for the neighborhood. If you get into a new neighborhood, you go knock on the people that have solar and you figure out their story. When did they go solar? Why did they go solar? And what's their experience with solar as right now? Like, if you can get those stories, maybe you get a bad story, you knock on the next house, you find out the story, and you find out these neighbors that are in the neighborhood. Most neighbors here in the Phoenix market don't even talk to each other. But when you have a story of someone that made a decision to do something that you're asking someone else to do, you can leverage this with bandwagon, and you can also have a lot more credibility here in the neighborhood. There's neighborhoods, dude, like in other places where people know each other. Like people thought I lived there, dude. The neighborhood, my glory neighborhood down in Queen Creek, I sold 13 deals on one single cul-de-sac. Dude, everybody, I knew everybody in the neighborhood and everybody knew my name. Like I knew all of these people, and all of these people ended up knowing me. Not saying you have to buckle down. Maybe if you do find a good neighborhood, you work it very thoroughly. This comes from people doing summer programs where you're not allowed to leave your assigned area until you've talked to everybody. I'm not telling you guys you have to do that, but what I would tell you is get the story from somebody else. Maybe you talk to somebody that's got an incredible story. Like you figure out how long have you guys had solar? 2 years. Why did you guys make a decision to go solar? Well, I made it go solar because I was sick. I was sick of paying the utility bill. I made a decision to go solar because the guy came to my door. I was just kind of interested. Like, and you do some fact finding, you do some questions. And first of all, sometimes these people will be a little bit hesitant, be like, listen, hey, I'm not trying to sell you anything today. Just want to figure out your story. We're doing the same thing that you took advantage of. And we like your story just to be able to talk about with some of the neighbors. And then you can ask them, hey, can I use your name out here because you guys made a decision to go solar? Now, obviously, you want to find somebody that has a good solar experience. Don't use somebody that had a bad solar experience. Dude, that would be that's a dumb way to do things. Because if somebody talks to them and they had a bad solar experience, these people aren't going to make a decision to do this. So making sure that you're getting those stories, and then making sure that you're leveraging that for the neighbor. So hey, did Mary tell you I was going to stop by? No, Mary didn't. Okay. Hey, Mary probably didn't tell you I was going to stop by. What you also want to do is you want to, if we're pace leading, which is a very simple tactic for you guys, every one of you should be doing the pace lead. This is a very simple tactic. You don't have to be able to figure out personality charts and meta models and all sorts of stuff. Pace lead. A pace lead. I was knocking with Ivan last week, and he was asking all of these questions. And I'm going to pick on you a little bit, like I was on Monday. He was asking all these questions that elicited a no response. They're like, "Hey, did you see our trucks? No. Hey, did you get the letter? No. Did you get this? No. Did you get that? No." Like everything was a no. But what you can do, let's say you're going to ask them a question and the trucks weren't in the neighborhood. I usually want to ask this if the trucks were actually in the neighborhood. Hey, I will ask them a question like this. Hey, you guys probably didn't see our trucks in the neighborhood, right? They're like, yeah, we didn't see them. Hey, you guys probably threw away the letter, the billing insert from the utility company like everyone else. I'm just assuming you did that, right? You either get a yeah, I threw it away, or no, I got it. Which letter are you talking about? I'm talking about the letter that they're talking about, the price increase, $500 million price increase. So you guys probably just threw that away like everyone else. Yeah, we probably did. I didn't look at it. Okay, so you're getting a positive response rather than getting a no and a no and a no, because pace lead will also work the opposite way. If you get a no and a no and a no, these people are just like, God, no, I'm not interested. No, I didn't see the trucks. No, I didn't get the letter. No, I'm not interested. Kick rocks. So a different way that you can frame the question is by asking them just very simple stuff to elicit that type of response. Like, hey, you guys probably didn't see our trucks that we had out here this morning, did you? No? Okay. Hey, and you guys probably threw away the letter, just like most of the neighbors in the neighborhood threw away the letter from the utility company, I'm assuming, right? Yes? Yeah, we threw it away. Or you get even a better response. No, I got it. Okay, you got the one about the $500 million increase? Yeah. Yeah, we saw it. Oh, how do you feel about that? That opens up dialogue, right? That opens up dialogue. What we want to do is we want to start on a positive foot than a negative foot. So, Ivan, I know that we worked together a couple weeks ago. I'm hoping that you've implemented the stuff that we were talking about when we were on the doors the other day, right? You don't want to start out getting all these no's, 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 no's. Dude, that's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous to be able to get a bunch of no's. So, at this point, getting off track just a little bit. So we want to be able to leverage it and use some sort of curiosity hook. I like to use, and I'm going to go back to this again. Hey, I like to use neighbors' names. I love to be able to have neighbors' names. Hey, you guys probably, do you guys know Jill down the street? Jack, whoever it is. I like to have actual authentic customers that have gone solar, or people that I have a relationship where I talk to. Maybe someone I just set an appointment with. If I set an appointment with somebody, hey, yeah, we talked to Zach down the street. And Zach, actually, he was freaking out. Now, here's the other thing. If you set a consultation in a neighborhood, you figure out what their buying tendencies were, and you can leverage that anecdote and that story to the other people, right? You can say, hey, Dylan was freaking out about the utility bill. He was freaking out. He got the billing insert. Most people threw it away. I imagine you probably threw it away. He was the type of guy that really wants to make sure that he knows what his finances are going to be. He loves certainty. And so when he got this billing insert probably 2 years ago, he saw the $500 million increase and he knew how to read it. Most people didn't even read it, but it's talking about their continued increase for the period of 8 years at an 8.6% increase every single December. Now he understood that that's going to be over 100% increase. Now, when we knocked on his door, he was open and ready and willing to look at an alternative solution to his current problem, which is being stuck with this utility bill that he has no control over. I don't know if you guys are in the same position, but I'm assuming that you guys probably love some sort of peace of mind and certainty, right? Okay, good. That's exactly why I'm here. Now, by the way, I'm not here to sell you anything. Our job is not to sell you today. My job is to be able to see if you guys qualify for the same sort of program that Dylan was able to qualify for. So, do you guys understand what I'm doing right there? Do you guys see it? You guys understand exactly what I'm doing here, right?
Yeah.
Trying to keep this very easy to follow and understand. Ultimately, you don't even have to have stories. You can use some framework on exactly what to tell these people. So like maybe you're just like, hey, they open up the door, you're like, hey, Will, hi, Will, what's up? We're actually doing the power projects. We just did Jim down the street. They're freaking out. The other thing is like, if I use evocative language, don't use vanilla language. If I say, hey, the neighbors are kind of concerned about the bill, like that's not evocative language. You know what's evocative language? Like neighbors are freaking out right now. Well, why are they freaking out? Like that's it's just normalization. Why are they freaking out? Well, they're freaking out because of this, this, and this. They're freaking out. Well, they're freaking out because they got the billing insert from SRP talking about the billing increase, and they understood that the bill's going to double in less than 5 years. So these people are really concerned about some of these things. So um, the other thing is like you have to be able to break the preoccupation and you have to get them some sort of curious. If you're talking about neighbors, the majority of people are wondering about what the other neighbors are doing. Like if you have a neighbor that's doing some sort of a project in their neighborhood, and there's trucks there, dude, watch these people. They'll come in the neighborhood, they'll just stare. They'll be like, oh, I wonder what he's doing. I wonder what he's doing. Like most 98% of people and stuff are going to be curious about what the other neighbors are doing in the neighborhood. So this is a very good step to gain the curiosity. Listen, your job is not to sell solar at the door. It's to get them engaged with curiosity so that they'll be willing to sit with us at a future date. So we just finished up a couple of neighbors. We just finished up doing a couple of neighbors down the street. We did Mark and James. You can talk about some of these things. I'm not here to sell you anything. You do a strong pullback. I'm not here selling anything today. Don't worry. They send the ugly guys to do that. I'm not here to sell you anything. What we're actually doing is something that we did for a couple of the neighbors that were freaking out. We're running utility. We're running engineering reports to see if we could qualify you guys for any savings. Don't worry, we're not here to sell you a $50,000, $60,000 solar system. So at this point, if you've done this really well, you shouldn't have gotten any objections. But as you further along, you should get some sort of objections within the first minute or so. Everybody's going to give you some sort of objection. What is the most common objection that we hear?
Not interested.
Not interested. Okay.
This solar.
Oh, like last time I sat down, like it just didn't make sense. Like the ROI just wasn't there. I'm moving. Doesn't
Okay.
make sense.
Well, you give like 3 objections in one, Josh. So it's like, oh, I do this. Isolate objection. Well, first of all, Ace.
I love those.
Ace and Eli, Ace and Eli. Let me give you not interested is not an objection. Not interested is like, hey, go away. I'm not interested. Just leave me alone. I'm not going to talk to you. The response to not interested is not to say, what aren't you interested in? Hey, I haven't given you enough information not to be interested. Is to be like, perfect. That's exactly why I'm here. And then you continue on. You just kind of shove that off. You do not take that on. That's not a true objection. That's not something that you have to answer, right? Now, awesome. That's exactly why I'm here. You don't have to be interested to qualify. Perfect. That's exactly why they send me out. You're the type of person I'm looking for. And then you just immediately bypass that and you immediately start engaging them with the curiosity. Now, if I say, and part of this is the psychology behind this, and I'll go a little bit deeper than this, is when I say perfect, that's exactly why I'm here. That's a confusion statement. They're like, what? They're like, and then you just immediately take it from there. Their consciousness is trying to figure out what that means, and then you go in there and then you launch into exactly what you're doing. Hey, we've been working with the neighbors out here, and this is what they've been seeing, and this is what they're freaking out about. That's and you start engaging them immediately from there. What?
When people give me a smoke screen too, one thing I really like to say, and I got it from like another solar rep, it's I'm not like, tell me you're not interested.
I'm not interested.
And that's the thing. And then I just talk.
Yep.
And then you just move on. And then you just see them look like a baby that just saw like a sun for like the first time. They just like re-register, like, and they just like, and you just keep talking.
Well, the important part the important part for you guys is when they're giving you these smoke screens, don't stall out on a smoke screen. You just overcome it very easily. You don't have to answer those things. So here's the other thing. We want objections. Everybody wants objections. You want to bring the objections out. That gives you the blueprint. If they give you an objection, what we can immediately do is we can sell on that objection, whatever the objection is. You want them to bring out the objections. So what Josh, you said a main one. Oh, I looked at this before, right? Josh, you said, oh, I looked at this before. I didn't have an ROI, right?
Yep.
So
Yep.
when you hear an objection, this gives us the blueprint. And what should we do when he gives us an objection like that?
Restate, reframe, and keep going from there and transition. So
Okay.
So you like basically, yeah, it's like, so basically what I'm hearing is that like when you sat down before, it didn't pencil out because it was probably going to take like 7-8 years in order for you to break even on this loan. Yeah. And they're like, yeah, that's exactly what it is. Yeah. So this is completely different. We're not asking you to buy solar equipment. Basically, we're just trying to get you guys on a lower rate plan with, a lower, more affordable, transparent rate plan. So, and then just transition out of it from there.
Okay, so that's one way to overcome it. An objection like this, here's what we know. When someone tells you, no, I looked at it before, it didn't make sense, it wasn't an ROI, what do we know about them immediately?
They looked at a loan.
Okay, they looked, we know they looked at it.
I'll mute that. They're smart. They're a business guy, dude. They think about numbers. Yeah, they're smart.
Okay, that's another answer. We know that here's the coup de grace. You know that they were interested enough to sit with somebody once before. This is great news. This is great news. If they actually were interested enough to sit with someone, what does that mean? That means that these people want solar. So here's the thing. There's some certain objections that they give that you ask. So let's just isolate this objection. Hey, oh, so you looked at this before, it didn't make sense. What about it didn't make sense? Let's take Josh's objection. Oh, I didn't see an ROI. I didn't see a fast enough ROI. Okay, and then here's the other thing, you keep probing. What kind of ROI were you looking for? What ROI were you looking for? What are they going to tell us? Well, I was looking for a 5-year return, 6-year return. So, and then we want to keep probing. So if you would have had a 5-year return, would you have done it at that time? What's they're going to tell you. Now what we're doing is we're isolating the true objection. So now if they tell us, no, I just needed a 5-year return, rather than talking about what our agenda is, you start using your brain. Everybody has a brain here. Say, I have a brain. Say, I have a brain. I want you guys to all say this. I have
a brain.
I have a brain.
I have a brain.
Use my brain.
I have a brain. Like a question.
I use
my brain.
I use my brain.
Jeremy, I use my brain.
I use my brain.
It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out, okay, you didn't have the ROI you were looking for. What was the ROI that you're looking for? Okay, I was looking for a 5-year return. Okay, If you would have had a 5-year return on the that time that you sat down with them, would you have moved forward with solar? This will elicit a yes or a no. If they say yes, I would have done it. We've isolated the objection. We know all we have to do. This is the blueprint for freedom right here. All we have to do is show him some sort of a program that would show him an ROI in 5 years. Don't think about a lease. Don't think about selling anything. We want to go to where they're at. They were looking for a return in 5 years. What we know, leases are immediate return because you're not having to invest any money. You see an immediate return from day one because you lower your utility bill. We know this, right? But we also know that even if he were to buy solar, all we would have to do to be able to get his business is show him a program that would be able to give him his return on his investment within 5 years. You have the blueprint. So before you're thinking, oh, I should convince this guy to do a lease. No, don't do that. So listen, he says this. He says, I was looking for a return in 5 years. Rather than continuously talking about our agenda, which is like this guy needs a lease because he sees an immediate return, say, listen, so what you're telling me is if the guy that you would have met with 2 years ago would have shown you a solar system that had a return in 5 years, you would have done it. Okay, let me jot this down in my notes. What I will promise you now is that I'm going to run your energy report. And if we don't have the 5-year return that you were looking for, I'm not going to waste your time. I'm not going to waste my time. I'll call you up and I'll tell you that we couldn't get you to qualify. Is that fair? And they'll say yes or no. But they'll say yes or no. If they say, if you've isolated the objection, you know that was the true objection. Now, here's the other thing. If they're like, if you ask them, hey, would you have done it if you would have got that? And they say no. Say, okay, well, why wouldn't you have done it? If you got the return that you were wanting, what else were you looking for? This is where we're just having an open conversation, dialogue with these people, and we're figuring out their model and their blueprint on how they want to buy solar. It's going to have to require you to use your brain, have a brain and use your brain, and think about the context of what they're wanting and what their true desire is. Now, if they say, no, I wouldn't have moved forward. Be like, okay, why? What else was there that you needed to feel like you could make that decision? And then they're going to give you more information. At that point, you're thinking about, okay, so all I need to do is this, this, and this, or all the closer needs to do is this, this, and this. And then what you'll do is you'll put it very specific notes about exactly what they wanted. So, and this is when you do the restate and reframe. So what I hear you saying is that 2 years ago, if he would have been able to show you a solar system with a 5-year return, you would have done it because you would have seen an ROI fast enough to make sure that it was worth it, right? Okay, perfect. So if we can run the report and we can show that, we would like to sit with you and be able to show you exactly what you wanted originally. I'm not going to waste your time. I'm not going to waste my time coming back here and giving you something that you don't clearly want, which is based on what you told me, right? We've tied him down into agreeing that he would have done this. Now, maybe they say, no, I still wouldn't have done it. I needed something else. So let's just say I needed, I don't know what objection, what other objection you have. No, I needed to do more research or whatever. Like me said, no, I still wouldn't have, I would have needed time to research. So now we got a double isolation. So, okay, so you needed time to research and you need to see the ROI. Is there anything else that you would have needed to move forward at that time? No, there's nothing else I needed. I just need to feel like I'm making a good decision. So now what we know, okay, so what you need to see is a 5-year return. And what I hear you saying is that you need to feel like you're making a good decision. And because of that, you're the type of guy that's going to research this and make sure that you know what you're getting into. Is that fair? Yes, that's fair. Okay, so if we provide you all of the information that you needed and we show you how to do this, what we're going to do is we'd like to be able to sit down with you. But what I'm going to first need is you to go grab the utility bill so I can enter this in here so we can see if we can give you what you originally wanted. I turned in an objection rather than some script or blueprint. I turned an objection into being able to roll with the punches and give him exactly what he wanted. And I did this very, very clearly with an algorithm of just asking questions. Like just asking questions, getting to the bottom of it. Restate, reframe would be really good on certain sort of objections. And you could certainly do a restate, reframe at this point But what I'm figuring out is what is this guy's buying motivation? What is his buying motivation? Now I'm going to ask you guys, do you think that this is possible for you to implement, or is it too difficult or too challenging? And just be fucking honest with me. Don't fucking lie and tell me that you're comfortable doing these things if you're not comfortable doing them.
I think that's good. I think that's gonna help a lot. It's gonna help a lot. Specifically, like something that I wanted to do. I have them in my notes, but yeah, like the tendencies, the tendencies and stuff like that. Like what I was thinking about specifically, I mean, like, do you know the neighbors of the street? Like, if you had a conversation with somebody, or not setting yourself up for a no. Like you were saying, like I've used that a lot. Like, did you get the car? No. Well, did you hear about the increase? Oh no. Like, reframing it. Oh, you probably threw away the car. We probably threw the letter away. Oh yeah, we probably did. Oh, you probably didn't know about the increase, right? Oh, you know what I'm saying? Like reframing that to get like kind of a yes versus getting a no. Like
Very
that's real
good.
big. That's real
That's
big. That's
exactly what it is, Eli. And if you're going to be framing it like that, be like, you guys probably threw away the billing insert like everyone else, right? So now they feel like, okay, well, you've talked to other people and other people have done the same thing. So they can have peace of mind knowing that they did it. You don't want to isolate them. You probably threw away the bill because you're an idiot. Like, you don't want to isolate them to be an individual. You'd be like, you probably threw away the billing insert just like everyone else, right? Yes. Okay. And you guys probably weren't even aware that the price was going up, right? Like, no, I wasn't aware. Okay, good. You're the exact type of person that we want to work with. One is that the utility bill is going up. You don't have to trust me. You can just trust the actual insert. Number two is they did send you the billing insert. Everybody threw it away because you didn't know how to read them anyways. So what we're here to do, don't worry, I'm not selling anything today. We're seeing if we could qualify some customers for some savings. We were able to help Mike out down the street. Mike was super excited when we came to the door because he didn't throw away the billing insert, and he was brutally aware of the billing increases because it reflects on his bill. He's someone that loves to manage his finances, and he loves to have peace of mind and certainty. And so when we came to his house, other times before, because the price increases have never gone up that much, he was never really that interested. There was never enough pain. But now when he got the billing insert and he sees the trajectory for the next 6 years, he's freaking out. So he was much more willing to sit with us and see the solution that we were going to give him. Now, I'm not telling you your house is going to qualify. I'm not going to tell you how it's going to qualify. I have to say this to engineers. I'm not going to work with you if I can't save you money from day one. I'm not going to work with you if there's any out-of-pocket expense for you guys. So we're kind of getting a little bit off track. But the other thing is, like, at this point, you're having these conversations with these people. Don't ever be afraid to walk away. Don't, like, you guys, we feel like if we walk away, if you're scared to walk away, you don't have the confidence. If you're scared to walk away, who has the control? You or the customer?
We do.
So the thing is that we want to be able to have the confidence to be able to walk away if this is the case. So be like, hey, I'm not going to work with you. This is a bold statement. If I tell you I'm not going to work with you, you want me to work with you. Psychologically, you're like, oh, people want what they can't have. Not going to work with you. This will also engage their curiosity. People are like, well, how do I qualify? How will you work with me? All the other things. So step number 4, pre-qualification questions. During this time, you would have elicited some sort of an objection at this point. And objection handling is the best thing ever because it allows us to think and then actually do some problem solving for people. The good thing about the great thing about good salespeople is we problem solve. People have problems and we come up with ways to solve the problems. So at this time, the qualification, hey, do you guys pay the average bill or do you pay the high ones with the low ones? I pay average bill. What is that average bill? And you want to keep going like this. Look at my hand. Keep going up, up, up. What is that high bill for you guys? Okay, it's right here. Awesome. Wow. $300 a month? No, not the high bill. I mean, what's the average bill? $300 every month. Whoa. Like that's every month, even the winter, summer, everything. Whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. You want to do some healthy comparisons. How much is your car payment? 300? You're paying as much in electricity as you do for your car payment? That is wild. How do you feel about that? Does that make you feel good? You're throwing away 300 bucks a month? You want to be able to make light of this. Even if their bill's low, you want to be able to make it a big deal for these people. And you want to do a healthy comparison between something that they already pay for. If you could do like a car payment, people are like, yeah, it's my car payment. You do a healthy comparison between that, and people are like, they finally realize how much money they're actually throwing away to the utility company. We want to ask them what their high bills are. We want to ask them how long they lived here. You want to start probing some of these questions. If you built up a rapport stack with these people, you guys have the opportunity, the chance to be able to really bring this home to these people. So at this point, this is when you kind of like launch into this stuff and you're able to get ingrained into these things and you have these conversations with these people. Let's just say that they're like, oh, I'd pay $300 a month. Okay, wow, that's a lot. So I'm looking at your house. I don't know if I can work with you yet. I can't work with you if we don't save you money from day one. I can't work with you if there's any out-of-pocket expense. How this works, I take your utility bill, I send it back to the engineers, we run the report, and we're looking for those qualifications. If I can't get those, we don't work together. I'll call you up and say I couldn't do it. Does tomorrow or the next day work better for you? Which does tomorrow or the next day work better for you? Ask them a yes or yes question. Don't say when works for you. Never. 2 years later works good for me. Now you're asking me yes or yes. Does tomorrow or the next day work better for you? Do mornings or afternoons work better for you? They're going to give you mornings or afternoons. Now you're pinning them down. When are you and your wife always home? When are you and your spouse always home? They're going to tell you we're always home at 6 p.m. We're always home at 3 p.m. We're always home at 10 a.m. Whatever time they tell you, be like, okay, let me see if I have a slot there. Oh, yeah, I have a slot there. Now let's kind of button them up. At this point, we want to button them up. Okay, so we're going to see you tomorrow at 6 p.m. Listen, we schedule these as we go. We book out our calendar. If there's any possibility that you can't make it, can I get your word that you'll let me know so that we can fill somebody else in that slot so we're not wasting our time? Yeah? Okay. Look them dead in the eye, shake their hand. We'll see you tomorrow at 6 p.m. Looking forward to it. Hey, by the way, if you don't qualify, I'll let you know. No news is good news. If you don't hear from me, I'm going to show up tomorrow at 6 p.m. And then at the end, what are you guys most excited about to see from the report? What are you most excited about to look at the report? That's going to get them their attention. They're going to remember the first 30 seconds and the last 30 seconds. If you're telling them, if you're asking them what are they most excited about, you just redirected their focus and their attention to thinking about what they're most excited about rather than thinking about a solar sales appointment with a solar sales guy that's going to last 2 hours, right? You don't want them thinking about sitting down with a salesperson in their own home that might be a little bit more pressure than they want. We want them thinking about what they're excited about. You want to gauge their curiosity. And then but you want to be able to close button down the appointment. So I tried to break this down, and that was the fourth step. That was the close. That was the appointment close. I'm going to go over the steps one more time. We did number one is the mindset, what we're trying to do. Number two is the pattern interrupt. Number three is the curiosity hook. Number four is the appointment close. This is a 4-step process. It doesn't have to be complex. It doesn't have to be complicated. By the way, if you just implement this, if you could do one thing right, if you could just have conversations with people like you would to a friend, dude, you will make infinitely more sales than anybody else out there if you're just having a full-blown conversation with people. Like I understand a lot of us when we go out in the doors, like I still get a little bit of butterflies in my stomach a little bit, even when I go out. This is why it's exciting. But I'll tell you what, that's what makes this job good is because I don't ever have to be like, oh, here you go. This is going to be boring as shit. Every single new door is a chance and opportunity to get some more feedback. Every single door that I knock on is a way for me to improve and get better. And and if I look at it from that perspective, I'm no longer knocking doors with the intent, oh, I got to make money. I got to make money. I'm knocking doors knowing that I'm going to get happiness in the growth and the progress that I make on knocking doors. If all of us could be able to look at it from that perspective, just imagine the amount of motivation that we would have to be able to go out and knock on doors and get the feedback from every single door that we're knocking on. This would be absolutely incredible. So I'm going to challenge all you guys to look at it from a different perspective. I'm going to challenge you guys to look at it from a different frame. The benefit about being able to get better and improve and progress is that we make more money. And inevitably, we'll get bigger bank accounts and we'll get improved and we'll get better. And the other thing is like the door-to-door space allows you to be an effective communicator. And we're getting feedback from every single door on what works and what doesn't work. We get to apply stuff. We get to learn stuff. We get to come up in creative ways. Once you stop being so robotic and stop thinking that you have to like act like this, and this, once you have a little bit more flexibility on there is really when you start being creative, and then you can start coming up with your own ways and means and methods that work specifically for you. So I'm hoping that especially for Ace and Eli, that this training was really effective. I'm hoping it's a refresher and a reminder for some of the guys that have been here for a while, that just keep it simple and to just implement some of these small little tactics and stuff so that you guys can get more deals, and then you guys could have a lot more fun and be a lot more engaged. So love you guys. Let's have a good day. I'm going.
Hey, look, I had a quick question real quick.
Yeah, let someone have a question first, but after that, I'm gonna talk.
Yesterday I set 3 appointments, and for 2 of them, at like at the very end, they didn't have the bill. So one of the guys like, oh, we have to do it next month. So I immediately just like, hey, you know what? We'll do it without it. Don't worry. We'll find a way to make it work out. But I'm just curious, like, if you have any tactics for that last. I heard some people call it objection. I don't know if it's an objection or they just really don't have it. But your thoughts?
If they don't have the bill, say like, okay, so listen, you should be implementing the idea that, hey, I have to qualify you first. So everyone on the phone today, this isn't like everybody gets solar. I have to qualify you first. So every one of you guys should be doing a strong, hard pullback like that. I don't know if you qualify. I don't know if we can work together. I don't want to get you all excited and not be able to work with you. So what we'll do you know what the average is? Are you on the average bill? Do you pay the high ones or low ones? And they're like, no, I don't know that. Be like, okay, well, we're going to take the square footage of your home. We have a software system. We're going to put it into our software system, and we're going to figure out what the bill is going to be. That's how we're going to qualify you. Now, if I can't qualify you for that, I'm going to call you and tell you that we couldn't qualify you based on the square footage of your home. But we'll know very specifically. By the way, I'm going to send you my digital rep card. When you do get that utility bill, just text me back. Other than that, I'll see you tomorrow at 6 p.m. I'll see you Saturday or whatever the time's going to be. Push for the bill. Not everybody's going to have the bill. I don't get the bill every single time. I mean, there's people.
Yeah, I'm like, you know what? I can't. I gotta hit him real quick. Like I gotta answer that real quick. So yeah, I just said, we'll do it. Fight it. We'll figure out a way. And I set the appointment. Okay.
Well, what you do is just say, listen, we have a software system. We'll run it off the square footage of your home to be able to see if you guys qualify.
Okay. Thank you.
Hey, Luke, can you quickly go over those 4 steps real quick? I kind of came in later.
Okay, so the first step is going to be the mindset, like you're not selling at the door, just selling the appointment. Your goal is curiosity, not convincing. And your tone matters more than words.
Okay.
Okay, number 2 is the pattern interrupt. So pattern interrupt, you want to interrupt their pattern. You're going to be doing that with the linguistic model. Number 3 is going to be the curiosity hook.
All right.
Number 4 is the pre-qualification questions. How high is your bill? And then number 5 is going to be the appointment close.
All right. Thank you.
Yep.
The only thing I want to say is I just want to bring some hype, dude. Like that dude just talking, that guy's name is Dylan Finland, bro. He's gonna be coming from Utah, coming down, living in the Mesa house, and he's gonna chop it up with us, dude. So I just want to bring some hype. Can we get some hype for Dylan, please? Like, yo, wake up, everybody. Can we get some hype?
Everybody's on mute, bro.
Everyone's on mute. Can we wake up? I don't even do Red Bull anymore.
I don't have the screens on. Trey,
Dylan.
Wild, Ryan, Dima, H. Who's H?
Who's H?
Brian, Evan, these guys might not even be listening, bro.
What?
They're probably just like, hey, I'll log in so it looks like I'm here.
I'm listening. Let's go, Dylan.
Dude,
Yo, where's
listening.
everybody's sexy faces at, bro? Come on, now we
Yo,
can have some ugly
seriously.
motherfuckers knocking on doors.
People are still in bed, bro. People are still sleeping. People are like in bed, they're naked, bro. We don't want to all see all that stuff, man. I'm telling you.
I'm just saying, I wanted to bring some hype for the new guy, Dylan, bro. I don't even drink Red Bull anymore. And I feel like I got more energy than like multiple combined, dude.
Well, you are high energy, bro. This is you get just it's your natural
Yeah,
talent.
And
everybody in the call, go get ADHD. You can do that by watching SpongeBob. Watch every season of SpongeBob, and you will get ADHD. And that's how I did it. But
I'm up at 7 a.m. because you all text me at 7 a.m. in the morning.
Yep.
no, I call Ryan at 7 a.m. in the morning. There's a difference.
All right, we got 2 days left, man. Let's go crush it. If you don't have a fucking deal this week, go get a deal, man. It's Friday, Saturday. If you don't have a deal, make sure you get a deal by the end of the week, dude. Don't settle for a zero, man. Let's go.
Fucking go, baby.
Go.
Love you guys. Have a good